Welcome everybody to I don't even know, episode 42 of the Canuckleheads. Shout out to Cal Wellwood. Remember him? My name's Justin. I'm joined by my co-host Mr. Wes. So at the start, you're gonna see we did a video at Christmas. Chris is there, Bubs is there for a little bit. That's what you're gonna see right away. This is talking about some older games too. Back in December, we still have a couple games from December to cover. Stuff was just hectic. It was a busy Christmas.
Had a lot going on.
It's been busy, in our personal lives too.
Yeah.
So this is like January 9th today that we're recording this that you'll see. And then this will be kind of a weird one, but then we'll be on a
regular schedule.
Yeah, your regularly scheduled programming. Welcome everybody to episode 43 of the Canuckleheads podcast. Shout out to Quinn Hughes. My name is Justin. I'm joined by Mr. Wes and Chris. Special guest. How dare you? 2 Christmases in a row and Bubs.
Yeah.
For the second time ever.
The mascot's back.
We are doing things a little bit differently. If it sounds weird, we were in a rush and forgot everything to actually do this. We missed a week also, so we're crushing it. Let's get right into it. December 14th, 2022, Vancouver at Calgary. Spencer Martin, Jacob Markstrom start. Brock Besser scratched due to non-COVID illness. Cal Burrows was in for Riley Stillman. Sheldon Dries was back in. In the first, we had a goal from Bo Horvat. Tips in an OEL point shot. JT Miller with a great play to retrieve the puck and pass it back to the point. Assist to OEL and Miller. We had another goal from Connor Garland. Sniped over Marquis' shoulder from the face-off dot. Good pass from Niels Hoglander from behind the net to set up Garland. Assist to Hogs and Myers on this one. The Canucks with 2 goals in the first 2 minutes of this game. But it winds up being 2-2 after the first, so Calgary storming back to tie it. Then we had a goal from Sheldon Dries on a 2-on-1 with Niels Hoglander. Hogs feeds him a cross-crease pass, and Dries goes top glove off the bar and in. Assist to Hogs and Andrei Kuzmenko. This was 3-3 after 2, 3-3 after 3, 3-3 after overtime. And then in the shootout, Andrei Kuzmenko scores the shootout winner, and Spencer Martin stops all 3 shots he faced. Canucks win 4-3. Predictions, I said they were going to win 3-2. Wes said they were going to win 4-3. So Wes nailed the score.
Finally. That's the first one I've got right this year.
I don't think we got very many right last year either.
No, you nailed that one game this year.
I think I've got 2 this year, but I don't think the year before, I don't know if we got any right.
No, you said verbatim what was going to happen in that one game, and it played out the exact same.
December 17th, 2022, we had Winnipeg in Vancouver. Martin and Hellebuck start. PD and Besser were both out sick. Lane Peterson was making his debut. It's going to get confusing with the Pedersen and Pedersen.
Peterson's a little bit more distinct.
This was 1-0 St. Louis after 1. And that's basically all the notes I have here. Bo scored a power play goal on a tip in from Quinn Hughes. The Canucks lose 5-1 in this one. This game was awful.
It was.
The power play goal, who cares? It was just a complete dominant performance by the Jets.
Little too much of a celebration on that Bo goal too. There shouldn't have been any fist bumping in that one. The fact that they even did that, I was kind of like, ugh.
Then we had a game December 19th, 2022, St. Louis at Vancouver. Spencer Martin, Jordan Binnington get the starts. It was reverse retro jersey night. No PD again, but Brock was back in. 0-0 after 1. Then we had a goal from Ilya Mikheyev on a breakaway. Goes forehand, backhand. Hughes feeds him a great breakaway pass. This was 3-1 St. Louis after 2, and it winds up being another 5-1 loss. So the Canucks tie and break their own record for most 5-1 losses on home ice in a season. And we're not out of December yet. So good job.
Notice you heard that beer crack when you started saying that. That's tough.
Bubs has some opinions.
Yeah.
Bubs is sad about it. Then we have a game December 19th. Sorry, that's the one we just did. We have a game December 22nd, Seattle at Vancouver. Spencer Martin and Martin Jones start. PD was back from the flu. They confirmed that's what was wrong with Brock and PD. They're going through the flu. Ethan Bear was scratched in this one. Kyle Burrows was in on a pairing with Riley Stillman, which is weird because these guys have just been taking each other in and out of the lineup all year. In the first, we had a goal from Lane Peterson. His first as a Canuck. PD sauce pass over the Kraken D-man, and Pedersen chips it in over Jones on a 2-on-1.
Gorgeous pass.
Yeah, so congratulations to Lane Peterson from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
No big deal.
So this was 1-1 after one. Then we had a scrap from Kyle Burrows and Brandon Tanev. I keep wanting to say Chris Tanev. Brandon Tanev. Burrows worked Tanev. No, like, big knockout punches or anything, but Burrows barely got hit. Good scrap from both guys. Then we had a goal from Elias Pettersson. A tip in on a Lucian wrist shot from the point. Assist to Shannon Kuzmenko. So again, like, Kuzmenko just keeps he's doing the Brock Besser now, where it's kind of like he's getting quiet points, but he's still making an impact pretty much every night. Yeah. This game was 4-2 Seattle after 2. Then in the third, we had a goal from Andrei Kuzmenko, who chips it over Martin Jones after a nice cross-crease pass from Peterson. Peterson and Petey with the assist on this one. Great pass from Peterson, who passes it through a crack in D-man's legs. So showing that he's got some skill and getting played with skilled players too. Like,
yeah,
he's tied for second in the AHL in goals, I think, with 17. So It's good that they're putting him in a spot where he's trying to score.
100%. I like that they put him on that line because it's like, okay, we have an offensive guy. Let's put him on a line where it's going to count.
Yeah. Then we had a power play goal from Brock Besser, who tips in a Petey kind of shot pass from his one-time spot. This was assists go to Hughes and Petey on this one. Then we had a goal from Elias Pettersson with a wrist shot from his one-time spot again. Assist to JT Miller. Petey ties it at 5 with the Canucks goalie's pulled. This was Petey's 5th point of the night, and he scored the goal with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. In overtime, we had 3 posts from the Canucks.
Yeah.
Petey, Miller, and Hughes all hitting the bar. So this was 5-5 after overtime. And in the shootout, Elias Pettersson scores the goal to win it.
No surprise.
In on all 6 Vancouver Canuck goals.
Yeah.
Wins the game for the Canucks 6-5. This just solidifies that he's the cornerstone of the Vancouver Canucks.
He is the most important player we have. We don't have him for 2 games, both 5-1 losses. We have him for 1 game. He gets 6 points.
And not just 5-1 losses, just very uncompetitive games.
No energy. Point. Yeah.
Like, just give St. Louis, and I don't even remember who the other team was, give them the 2 points and let's just not even play.
Which is sad because JT and Bo were both in those 2 games and they didn't do a thing.
Yeah.
Besides Bo scoring that 1 goal. That's not enough. As the captain and assistant captain of the team, you'd think those guys would step up and at least try to throw some big hits, at least try to change the momentum of the game. They obviously didn't care enough.
Yeah, and then, it's huge that the Canucks win that one against Seattle because you're going back-to-back 5-1 losses.
Yeah.
If you do that again, and it looked like they were gone. The Kraken came out fast and furious, and then it was the Canucks had to claw their way back in that one.
Right when I seen that fake dump-in goal on Spencer Martin, I was like, oh, this is going to be a long night. Yeah. But we pulled through.
And teams are starting to figure out Spencer Martin.
They are.
When he goes down, he leaves a lot of room up high. He's a tall goalie, but he plays like a small goalie almost.
Yeah, he's very crouched.
You see a lot of shots in the 2 5-1 games where they're just clean shots. There's no traffic in front, and he's just getting beat up high every time. So, he comes in last year and nobody really knows anything about him. So there's no book on him, right? You're just shooting and seeing what happens. Yeah. Now there's that's the word, is shoot high on Martin.
Yeah, and it sucks to say too, because we all know that we don't do much for our goalies out there. They're out there trying to make 35, 40 saves in a night. And so Spencer Martin, some things are starting to get exposed because he has so many shots against, and the goals against average is
not nice.
No, it's
not pretty.
It's not looking pretty. But we'll talk more about the goalies a little later.
Yeah, and again, he doesn't have nice stat lines, but the ones that count, the wins, they keep coming in. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Then the last game we're going to cover here, December 23rd, 2022, Vancouver in Edmonton. There was some talks that this game was going to get canceled due to the weather.
Yeah.
Wound up going through. Colin Delia and Stuart Skinner start. Ethan Bear was back in the lineup to play his former team. This was 2-0 Edmonton after 1. In the second, we had a goal from JT Miller with a one-timer from the top of the circles on a weird it hits Skinner and then kind of like lobs up and over him and into the net.
Yeah, like a ricochet off the shoulder and it flipped up.
Yeah.
He kind of saw it, but it went behind
Must
him.
have lost it in the lights or something.
And it was funny, JT even admitted in his post-game interview, like, man, I was just trying to dump it in. I had no energy left. And it just went in. And he was like, typical that I've been trying to score goals in the past 3 games and haven't been able to. And then a weird one like that goes in.
And then in the second, we get a power play goal from JT Miller. He's kind of in front of the net, gets his own rebound, chips it over Skinner. Assist to Petey and Bo. So Elias Pettersson making an impact again.
Yep.
2-2 after 2. In the third, we had a goal from Bo Horvat on a weird play. Like the defenseman, I can't remember who it is. I think it's Myers, shoots the puck from the points. And Bo kind of scoops the puck from behind the net and almost the way you do the Michigan, kind of throws it in for the goal. And
it deflected in an odd way.
Yeah, but he's got it almost on like the back end of his stick when he throws it in.
Yeah.
Like go check this goal out on YouTube because it's very impressive. Like the speed he does it at.
And big Selly after too, because that was a big goal.
Yeah. Assist to Garland and Myers on this one. Then we had a goal from Ilya Mikheyev from the slot off a feed from Bo Horvat. Mikheyev goes top glove. This is Bo Horvat's 400th career point. Mm-hmm. This is assist on this goal. So congratulations to Bo. We all are aware of the trade speculation, so not sure how many more points he's going to get as a Canuck, but he's made a pretty solid impact. Mm-hmm. And then we had an empty net goal from Bo Horvat. Great spin pass from Petey at the red line to get him the puck. And he goes in, keeps the puck away from the Edmonton D-man and backhands it in for the win. Canucks win this one 5-2. So Canucks in the last 2 weeks go 3-2 with 2 pretty shitty losses.
They're terrible, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of really make you want to go all for Team Tank. And then they win the one in Seattle where they climb. Like they never had a lead in that game, but they won it.
Yeah. And
then they have a good comeback win in Edmonton too. So it's I still don't know where I stand on this team. I think they're going to be just outside the playoffs, but I want them to blow it up and I want Bedard.
Yeah, trust me. Like it's pretty disappointing when we have to score 3 goals or more every game in order to even have a chance to win. Because some of these games are lockdown games. You can only score 2 goals and still catch a W. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and we're not playing that shutdown style whatsoever. Like our goals against are just out of control. Delia, however you say his name, was great in the Edmonton game. I think maybe we see a little bit more of him coming up because I was so impressed with him and I was just like, man, he only let 2 goals in. Spencer Martin hasn't done that in a while. So I hate to kind of throw him under the bus there because he's been great for us so far. But I mean, this guy just had a kid. He's buzzing. Throw him in net for the next game and let's see what he can do.
And against the Oilers too, right? To only give up 2 goals is pretty big.
It's huge, man.
Your third
and he had huge saves. It's not like it was a muffin of a game. Like he was out there making big stops when he had to. So he came up clutch in the moment, and I want to see him against San Jose.
Yeah. So that's all the games we had the last 2 weeks. Here we'll go over some news. December 16th, 2022, the Canucks recall Lane Peterson from Abbotsford. Peterson is currently second in NHL goal scoring. December 19th, 2022, the Canucks announced Travis Dermott has been loaned to Abbotsford for a LTI conditioning stint. And there was a whole bunch of Colin Delia, Archer Seelov's recalls and then sending him back down to Abbotsford.
Up, down.
Just for whatever reason to make the cap work.
Yeah.
But I feel like Delia got recalled 2 or 3 times this last 2 weeks.
So weird.
And then December 19th, 2022, the Canucks announced Niels Hoglander has been assigned to Abbotsford 1 day before his birthday. So happy birthday, Niels.
Kick to the ball bag.
And also when he's playing his best hockey too.
Yeah. They scored a couple goals, looking good on the bow line.
Was contributing, was driving Corsi.
But I'm not going to say that I didn't really like seeing Peterson play.
I liked him. I thought he fit good.
Him and Petey, man, for some reason, just have this connection right away.
And it's not a bad thing to let him go play in Abbotsford and get big minutes too.
100%. You look at Pods.
Yeah, to have Podkolzin, Hoglander, and Rathbone all kind of running the show in Abbotsford or playing big roles. It's not the end of the world. They're all still young. I think
developing.
Rathbone's 23, 24, but still give him another year and see what happens. And then I just had in my notes here, that was something we talked about that I think teams have figured out Spencer Martin. Another thing, after the 5-1 games too, there's like 3 Canucks that know how to play defense on this team.
Yeah, it's Huggy. I feel bad for you, dog. The Luke Shen, not bad. He's been pretty solid back there. But I mean, OEL, he wins his board battles for the majority of the time. But sometimes, sometimes you see him lose his assignment and then he's out to lunch.
Yeah, it's one thing that won't change this year is the Canucks are not a defensively good team.
No.
If they're gonna win, it's gonna be 6-5.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 7-6.
Yeah, we have to
those
outscore
ugly
our
games.
problems. Yeah.
Every single night. There's no, you know how we had the shutouts for the goalies. I don't think we're getting a shutout this year.
No, poor goalies, man. It's not looking good.
But yeah, that's kind of everything we gotta go over these last 2 weeks here. Sorry we did miss the episode last week, but there was just a lot of stuff going on in the personal lives, so forgive us for that, please. Chris, you got anything to add?
Not really.
Chris is a big hockey guy. You just like the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, and I just really, really hope that we can turn this next couple weeks around.
Yeah.
Because, Jesus, I would like to get a couple of solid wins in a row here. We keep saying we need to go on a streak to get over that 500 hump, and we're not going on any streaks.
No, we just kind of sit in the middle, right around that mark.
Win, loss, loss, loss. Win, loss. Win, loss. Like, it's just constant setbacks. Can't go on a streak. We need to get a streak going if we even want to sniff the playoffs.
Yeah, like, again, I think with all the rumors going around, I think Bo, like, I don't want to say I think he's, like, pretty much guaranteed to be out because you never know. But also, like, there's no real win-win situation if you re-sign Horvat, because if you do, you're still the same team. That's not good enough to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And if you let him walk, then you're losing your captain, and from everything you hear outside of Vancouver, like a top-notch person. So
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, hindsight's 2020, obviously, but I feel like if our management could go back, they're not signing that JT Miller contract.
Yeah, you're
signing Bo.
Miller.
Yeah, and it really sucks that we're in this position now that it's like, okay, Miller makes the most on the team, and now we can't afford Bo, and he's disrespected by an $8 million offer, and that's the last thing you want for your captain, right?
Yeah, and also the way he's scoring goals is absolutely pricing himself out of that range.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
A center that scores goals is one of your top priorities.
Yeah, and he's it. He's the package, and like you said, top-notch person off the ice. The perfect captain.
Yeah.
Really. And if we lose him, it's Petey, you're going to have to take us to the motherland. That's the only thing I have to say. Petey has to take us there. There's no other way.
The game against the Kraken kind of cements him as like we said, the cornerstone of the Canucks, even with Quinn Hughes, even with Thatcher Demko. This is the Elias Pettersson show here.
Yeah.
Quinn Hughes is great, and he can also reach that same level as Petey, but how many 5-point nights have you seen out of Quinn Hughes?
Yeah.
You know, and not a shot at Quinn because he's amazing. But
no, he is amazing. And like, I'm pretty sure they came out and said like the only untouchable is Elias Pettersson. And that's a fact. I mean, it would take a monstrosity of a
mammoth
exactly
is what was,
to get Quinn Hughes. But I mean, Jesus, we really need Petey. I wish we could keep Bo, but it's not looking good. We almost have to get rid of a Garley or someone.
Yeah.
In order to keep Bo.
And then you got to find money for Kuzmenko too. Like, it's not a good spot the Canucks are in.
Yeah, no, it really isn't. Like I said, that JT Miller deal just kind of... But that Tyler Myers deal is coming up soon.
In 2 years.
Ugh. Too late. 2 years too late.
Yeah, and OEL is a tough one too. For no matter how good he plays, it's always going to be an issue with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that kind of wraps things up. We got to do our Canucks of the week. We're going to hand out 2 each because we missed a week, even though there's probably not a Canuck that deserves
the first one
any praise for the first week.
Yeah.
For the first week, I think. Oh, I don't even know who I'm going to give it to.
I have it in my head who I'm giving it to, and it's sad that you're making the first Canuck of the year off of this because you're better than that, but it is what it is.
Who are you giving it to then, Wes?
Quinn Hughes.
Quinn Hughes for the first week?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Bo. He's still scoring goals. It still had kind of a disappointing week, but yeah, the whole team did. So it's hard to single out one guy.
It's hard to find a bright spot there, and I just feel like Quinn has been fairly consistent. It's not like you're really looking at him as the glaring mistake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's always Stillman or one of those guys, Myers. It just seems like Quinn is doing a pretty consistent job, and he always, like, we don't seem to score a goal unless PD or Quinn touch the puck. And I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
I want to see how many goals we did score this season without those two touching the puck. I bet it's not many.
Even a Horvat power play goal, it's always Quinn gets that second assist or something.
Or PD.
Yeah.
Literally, we don't score unless those two touch it. So, Quinn Hughes for me.
All right. Yeah, for the second week, it's pretty easy. Elias Pettersson.
There's no debating that.
He had 2 goals and 5 assists in 2 games.
You have 6 days off. You come in and get 6 points. You're the Canuck of the week.
Pretty easily, like basically single-handedly win that game against the Kraken.
Yeah.
That's, Petey. You agree?
No argument.
Right? I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up. It's kind of a quick episode because it's Christmas. We were kind of rushing a little bit and just making sure we get one out and not miss 2 weeks in a row.
We're doing the Christmas shot.
Celebratory
This was
shot.
supposed to be a lot earlier, but I've been tying into the beers. I'll take the big cup, boys. Don't worry about it.
Another good year of podcasting from the Canuckleheads. We want to just keep going too and keep improving things. Consistency will be one that we work on because we missed a week, but sometimes it's just shit happens.
And thus far, since we've started, count them. We haven't missed many.
3.
So if we miss one, you know it's something serious.
Yeah.
3 over 2 years. That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
That's really good.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Canuckleheads Christmas party. But I hope everybody had a good holidays, whatever you celebrate. I hope it was fun and you saw family. I hope you ate as much as we did. I hope you didn't feel as full as we did. I wish you a great new year. Hopefully everything is good and nothing but good times with family and friends. Cheers.
See you guys. Another one in the bag.
All right. Thank you, past Wes, Chris, Justin, and Bobs. This is current a little bit. This is still kind of old because we have a lot of games to go over, but this is December 27th, 2022 still. San Jose at Vancouver. Spencer Martin, James Reimer start. Rivers retro jersey night. These are going to be kind of, I don't really remember these super well, so we might not go into great detail, but in this game, we had a goal from Bo Horvat. Backhands a puck over Martin Jones from the side of the net. The puck slides right to him after a Mikheyev shot was blocked. Assist to Mikheyev and Besser. Then we had a goal from Elias Pettersson. Slides in a rebound. Luke Shen throws a puck on net. Lane Peterson gets a couple whacks at it before PD buries it. Assist to Shannon Peterson. This Peterson, I'm not a fan of it anymore because I have such a hard time saying.
At first, I kept saying Pedersen, like for him, like P-E-D.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I like how the announcers were saying Peterson because it distinguishes the two a little bit better. So now I'm saying Peterson, but it's hard not to say like Peterson.
And they always assist on each other's goals, so you can't get any separation.
Yeah, Peterson.
I just call them PD and PD.
Yeah.
So this was 2-1 Vancouver after 1. In the second, we had a goal from Ilya Mikheyev. After the power play expires, he buries a great cross-ice pass from Kuzmenko. Assist to Myers and Kuzmenko. This was a great shift from power play too. Then we had a goal from Quinn Hughes, his first of the year. It's a shame that this took so long for us to cover this because this was a beauty. I remember this.
NHL even posted it. They don't give this guy much love. And wow, is this an amazing goal.
He just basically owned the puck for 15 seconds.
As long as he wanted.
Tried to set up Bess, kept skating the lap and got the puck back. And then, just a top corner snipe on James Reimer. If you're going to wait this long to get your first one, you got to make it worth it. And Quinn Hughes made it worth it.
But then it makes me like, God, do that more. You know what I mean? Like, obviously he was taking advantage of a tired D zone there, but I mean, wow. Yeah,
for as good as a skater as he is, you don't really see him carry the puck in the offensive zone.
Not as much as we used to.
Yeah, and I would like to see more of it.
100%.
Assist to Mikheyev and Horvat on this one. This was 4-1 Vancouver after 2. In the third, we had a goal from Bo, who snipes top blocker. Great feed from Best to send Bo in. Just 1 assist to Brock Besser. Then we had a goal from Brock Besser, who snipes top blocker from the circle off a great pass from Bo from behind the net. Assist to Horvat and Mikheyev. Canucks win 6-2. Martin, Mikheyev, Horvat, and Besser all had great games this game.
Yep.
I'm glad I put that in my notes because I don't remember.
Yeah.
Then we'll go on to December 29th, 2022, Vancouver at Winnipeg. So this game started off with a ceremony congratulating Sam Gagner on 1,000 career NHL games, former Canuck Sam Gagner. So congrats to you. Delia and Hellebuck get the starts in this one. Travis Dermott was making his season debut, so it's good to see that. We had a goal from Andrei Kuzmenko 41 seconds in. The Jets D-man turns the puck over to Petey, and he passes to Kuzmenko, who wrists one right from the slot. Only assist was to Elias Pettersson. 1-0 Vancouver after 1. 3-1 Jets after 2. Then in the third, we had a goal from Connor Garland. Throws a puck on net, and it hits Hellebuck in the glove and goes in. Assist to Hughes and Kuzmenko. 4-2 loss. Something that's going to be a theme in this episode is losses to the Jets. And I'm really starting to get on board Wes's hate for the Jets because it just every time I see him on the schedule, I'm like, great, this is going to be a shitty game.
At least last year we could freaking beat them.
Yeah.
This year, man, it's a mess.
Then December 31st, 2022, Vancouver at Calgary. Spencer Martin, Jacob Markstrom start. Will Lockwood was in. 0-0 after 1. In the second, we had a goal from Sheldon Dries, who hits a backhander out of the air past Markey. Unassisted. 3-1 Calgary after 2. Then in the third, we had a goal from Elias Pettersson, who tucks in a rebound after Bo drove the puck to the net. Assist to Bo and Bear. 3-2 loss in this one. I do remember this game because the Canucks couldn't complete a pass. This was like outside of the score, which was not awful. This was just a horrendous game to watch.
Yeah, I literally thought like the first period of that game was like the worst period of hockey I've watched all season.
Yeah.
Between both teams. Bad.
And like, just to highlight, like the Canucks could not make a pass in this game. Just to highlight that, neither of the goals were set up from passes. They like, Dries hit a puck out of the air, and PD just buried a rebound that Markey let out. So like this one sucked to watch. I'm unhappy that this is one of the few games I remember from this massive backlog of games we're going over. Okay, let's get into the new year here. January 3rd, 2022, the Islanders at Vancouver. Martin and Sorokin start. Luke Shen playing in his 900th career game, so congrats, Luke Shen.
Yep.
We had a goal from Bo Horvat, tipped in an OEL point shot. Assist to OEL and Bess. This was 1-0 Vancouver after 1. Then we had a power play goal from Bo Horvat from the bumper. Great play by JT to keep the puck in at the blue line and feed Bo for the one-time pass. Assist to Miller and Hughes. This was 3-2 Islanders after 2, and then the Canucks wind up losing 6-2. Glad I don't remember this one.
Yeah, I wanted to say this later on, but it's in my head now, so I might as well say it because sometimes I forget to say stuff. Our goals against for our goalies might be like the worst in the league.
It's tough. And
it's so bad.
Something we've talked about before, too. It seems like teams are figuring out Spencer Martin. Colin Delia looks like he's Spencer Martin from last year, where nobody really knows much about him, so there's no book on him yet.
And he's had 2 games where he's only let in 2 goals.
Yeah.
I mean, Spencer Martin, it's 4 to 5 plus every night.
And you really notice him, like if it's a 2-on-1, it feels like it's a 90% chance that it's going in.
Yeah, which it's funny because Delia comes in, has that one really good game where he only lets in 2. We get a win, big win. And then Spencer Martin the next game looks motivated. Yeah. Looks like, oh shit, this guy might take my job.
Yeah, he's going to Spencer Martin.
Exactly. And so I wish he would be able to continue to keep that fire. But I mean, like Justin said, I think the guys kind of have the playbook on him a little bit now.
Shoot up high if you want to score on Spencer Martin.
Yep.
So here, another current game, January 5th, 2023, Colorado at Vancouver. Colin Delia and Georgiev get the start. 1-0 Colorado after 1. In the second, we had a power play goal from Andrei Kuzmenko. Gets under the arm, blocker side on a backhand. The Colorado clearing attempt hit the ref, and the Canucks capitalized on it. Assists to Mikheyev and OEL. And with this assist on the goal, Oliver Ekman-Larsson reaches 300 career NHL assists. Jesus, I can't talk. So congratulations.
You just have your wisdom teeth removed today.
Yeah,
so
for the record, that is true.
Give him credit for busting this out today.
So congratulations to Oliver Ekman-Larsson on 300 career assists. Congratulations, Justin, for putting words together. Then we had another goal from Andrei Kuzmenko, who jabs in a puck from his own rebound after some nice moves and played by Petey to drive the puck to the net. Assist to Petey and Bear. This was just Elias Pettersson kind of doing a Quinn Hughes impersonation. Nice spin move at the blue line.
Yep.
Puck to the net hard, and Kuzmenko gets rewarded.
Doing PD things.
And then we had a goal from Brock Besser. Gets a rebound, goes low blocker after Bo takes the puck to the net off a Makar turnover. So something you don't see too often there.
No, I'm happy to see Bess scoring some goals again.
Yeah. Assist to Bo on this one. Canucks with 3 goals in 2 minutes and 33 seconds.
Yep.
This was kind of a late one, and this was kind of, we were getting back into the routine of going back to work and everything and like having a schedule. Kind of halfway through the second period, I was like, man, I might just turn this off and go to bed because I was exhausted. And then the Canucks busted out those 3 goals, and I'm like, well, a minute for the whole game now.
Yeah, I remember we texted and we were like, well, I'm glad we didn't shut that off because, wow.
So 3-2, Vancouver after 2. In the third, we had a goal from JT Miller with an empty netter. Good play from Petey to get Miller the puck after drawing Makar in.
Oh, was that the one where he took the hit to make the play?
Yep.
Petey took a monster hit there to dish out to Millsy, so credit to Petey there.
Yeah, so assist to Petey and OEL on this. Canucks win this one 4-2. Now we'll get to our last game of the week here. January 8th, 2023, Vancouver at Winnipeg. Delia and Riddick get the starts. Mikheyev has a goal waved off due to an offside challenge. I believe it was Bo Horvat was just a little bit offside. It was kind of a weird pass that Mikheyev bobbled a little bit, so sent him offside. Then we had a goal from JT Miller, who bangs home a rebound. Petey sets this up with a few nice moves and steals a puck back and sets up JT. Assists to Petey and Kuzmenko. Then we had a goal from Jack Stadnicka, who tips in a Luke Shen point shot. Shen and Joshua get the assists. 2-2 after 1. In the second, Spencer Martin goes in for Colin Delia after the Jets score 2 quick goals. Then we had a goal from Bo Horvat, who snipes one from the top of the circle.
Far out.
Yeah, high glove.
Ripped it.
Absolutely ripped it. It was a nice pass from JT to set Bo up. A nice tip pass kind of in the neutral zone. And yeah, this was a big league shot. Like this was a snipe and a half from Horvat here.
That whippy stick's paying off, isn't it, Bo? Jesus.
Then we had a power play goal from Sheldon Dries, who tips in a JT Miller pass from the slot. This is assists to Miller and Garland. So the Canucks battle back from two goal deficits to tie it up. Go into the third down by 1, wind up losing 7-4. So rough game there. Once again against the Jets, who I'm over. I don't think we play them again this year, and I'm very happy for that.
Yeah, I already hate them as it is. It doesn't need to run any deeper than it already does.
Last 2 games against the Jets, we've given up hat tricks to 2 different players, so that's not good.
No, anytime you see 7 against, it's
tough.
Yeah, it's not a good night.
And the Canucks are still kind of just 1-2 games below 500. It's kind of where they've been hovering since they got up to 500. We can't seem to gain any traction here.
No, and it's so sad too. Like, I always watch the post-game interviews, and all they do is just the same word vomit every single night.
Yeah.
Just not good enough, need to be better defensively, blah, 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 blah. Well, then do it.
Yeah.
Stop talking about it and do it. Commit to a frickin' plan and do something. Like, we always talk about, like, our team needs an identity. Well, right now, we don't got one. Because we can't outscore our problems. We've proved that. So that's not working.
Yeah, like, the identity of the team is they don't know how to play defense. And
that's the sad thing for Quinn Hughes, right? We just talked about we want him to be more offensive. How's he supposed to do that when everyone's chirping our defense all the time? And he's like, God damn, I got to be on defense. I can't be offensive, or else if I lose it deep in the zone and then we get scored on, I'm the biggest laughing stock in Vancouver, and he doesnn't want that.
You got to imagine too, right? Like, one of the reasons Makar is so successful in Colorado is because he has a whole core that is good defensively.
Yep.
The forward group too is good defensively.
Yep.
Hughes doesn't have that.
No.
Hughes has
he's our main man.
Hughes has 2 other guys that can play defense.
And Luke Shen can't skate barely. So when he was playing with Schenner, I see why he wasn't trickling into the zone. It's like, oh no, they'll burn Schenner so quick. Poor Shen, I love the guy, but he's got no wheels on him.
All right, so a couple other things in Canucks news here. December 27th, the Canucks recalled Travis Dermott from his conditioning stint in Abbotsford. Played 1 game, so was the right thing to do, because we saw with Tucker Poolman how, he came back, got concussed. Same thing with Michael Furland.
Yep.
So I'm glad they did this. Send him to the AHL, let him get through a game, make sure there's not like he gets a little bump.
Residual,
and that's it.
Yeah. And what I like too is, like, Poolman and Dermott were supposed to be 2 guys that can skate pretty well, and they play kind of physical. So it's like we've really missed that from our DE core. Yeah. And now that we have 2 guys with a little bit of size that can skate, 1 guy back, it's nice to see Dermott back. You can notice him right away when he's
Yeah.
out there. The guy's a beast.
At this point, one of like three guys that really is above average mobility wise. Like you have Hughes, Bear, and Dermott now. Like
Yeah.
Shannon, Myers, and OEL are not
they're
not the players they used to be. So.
No.
December 30th, 2022, the Canucks send Niels Amon down to Abbotsford and recall Will Lockwood. I kind of like this. Amon I don't think he deserved a demotion, but it's also not bad for him because he's playing big minutes in Abbotsford.
Yeah, no, it seemed like while him and Joshua, once they put Lazar on that line, it just didn't seem to really gel quite as well for some weird reason. But I'm not mad at it.
Then some good news here. December 31st, 2022, Alex Edler, former Vancouver Canuck, played his 1,000th game.
Yep.
So congratulations, Edler. Kind of before Quinn Hughes decides it's time, this is the greatest defenseman in Canucks history. So.
100%. And I've seen all the boys, like Bo, all of them posting on their story. Congrats to Alex Edler. So that's awesome.
Great teammate, great quiet leader. One of the same as like all the Swedes. It kind of seems like just amazing people, but very quiet.
What I miss most about him, quickly, is he would be having kind of a quiet game. Out of nowhere, he would just throw a monster hit and just dummy somebody and just cause a huge scrum. Yep. I really miss that about him. He would just crunch somebody out of nowhere.
Yeah, Alex Edler was shockingly strong.
Yeah.
Again, congratulations. I don't know what happens once season ends, if that's a career for him, but great career.
Yep.
Glad he got to reach 1,000 games. Kind of wish it was in a Canucks jersey still, but he's still playing good hockey in big minutes in LA.
Yep.
January 5th, 2023, the NHL announces that Elias Pettersson has been named to the NHL All-Star Game. Very deserving.
I was about to say the only deserving. Bo was up there.
Bo should be in.
Because
the amount of goals he scored, he should be in. But.
Yeah, we have the option to vote someone else in.
Yeah.
And I think Bo's the guy. But just Petey all around, his game all around is the best on our team.
Been the best Canuck all year.
Yeah. So just because you're putting up goals doesn't make you the All-Star.
Yeah. And this is something we talked about last year too. I don't like the way the All-Star format is.
Yeah.
I understand the NHL wants at least one player from each team, but sometimes you just don't deserve
There's
it.
a couple guys that Bo Horvat is 10 times better than that'll be there.
And you look like Leon Draisaitl isn't. He will be, but right now he's not an All-Star.
Yeah.
The guy's second in the NHL in point.
Doesn't make sense.
It's dumb that you got to do one per team. I remember, I don't know what year this was, but from Columbus, Espen Knutson was an All-Star. Do you know who that is?
No.
I barely remember that, but just send the guys that deserve to go.
Yeah.
There'll be, like a guy like Ovi probably won't go because he's got better things to do. And
same with there's a lot of guys that probably, like Steven Stamkos, I heard said, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those guys don't really need to go anymore. They've been to enough.
Yeah, I can't remember which conference it is, but one of them doesn't have any defensemen. So the voting is probably going to be rigged to get some defensemen in there, right?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I'm not into it. Just send the guys that deserve to go.
Yeah.
But that's kind of it for news. One thing, did we talk about the JT Miller Colin Delia incident?
I don't remember if we did, but we can go over it real quick again.
I do think we might have missed it.
Yeah, we might have.
In between our hiatus here. A lot of people were pretty pissed off because it was kind of it looked like a pretty prickish thing of Miller to do, yelling at Colin Delia to get off the ice while he had the puck in the defensive zone.
Yeah.
If I'm Colin Delia and I've studied this team as well as I have, I'm not giving JT Miller an empty net with the puck in the defensive zone.
No, and
at all.
Look exactly what happened 10 seconds later.
It's in the back of the net.
They try to dump and chase.
Yeah.
For what reason, I have no clue. They lose possession like we always do in an empty net goal.
And then, the reporters asked JT if he had a chance to apologize over it or anything, and he just kind of said it wasn't a big deal. And I appreciate JT Miller's honesty, and I appreciate that he's himself, but there's certain situations where it just creates more drama. Just say, we talked about it, we're good. Yeah,
and he said, it's none of your guys' business. Well, I mean, people that care about the team as much as we do, we'd like to kind of know. You know what I mean? And you're just leaving people in the dark and kind of making us think no, I don't have to say anything to him. He's our third string goalie. You know what I mean? That's kind of you're a dick, man. But
and you see what we're wearing. We spend money on this team. I'm not saying they owe us, but you just want to make sure that things are handled properly, right?
Yeah.
And if JT Miller's a problem, you kind of want to know about it.
He hasn't been acting like a leader, like he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You don't see Bo Horvat talking like that in the media.
He's probably been my most disappointing Canuck this year, I think, right? Especially from the talks, like he wants to be a good 200-foot player.
Yeah.
He's not. There's multiple clips of him just dragging his ass on the back check. He's got to the point where Kevin Bieksa said it, like he just has nothing to defend JT Miller for the lazy back checks. And Yannick Hansen said it. Wes tagged me in that post. Like, you can get mad and frustrated all you want when you're down by a goal, but show that emotion when you're back checking.
Yeah.
Don't just look and be like, oh, I'm burnt, I'll just coast.
Yeah. No, show that emotion on the ice. Don't go back to the bench and slam your stick. Obviously, if you're doing that, you should have did more.
Yeah.
So go out and do it.
And like, we do this a lot where it seems like we pick on JT Miller, but it's because he's a good player when he's playing.
We've seen this guy's potential. We know what he's capable of, and it's disappointing to see him play the way he had been playing. Obviously, the last week he's been trending in a better direction.
Yeah.
So I don't want to just completely rain on his parade here, but it's frustrating to see, to say the least. And if you're wearing a letter on your sweater, have some respect, man.
Yeah, and it's just because I believe he can be a good two-way player. It's just the effort at certain times, right? Like, you just have to be aware of that. And if you show that effort on the back check, like, yeah, maybe they still score, but at least there's like that tape of you busting your ass trying to get back into that play to pick off a puck or something. Like, instead of you just looking up and being like, oh, and then you go.
There's nothing I hate worse than just watching a guy just coast it out and just not care anymore. Anything could happen. What if he misses the net? It bounces off the glass, pops out. He's fighting to try and get control of it again. You might be there by then and lift his stick and take the puck or whatever, right? Like, you never know what's going to happen.
And JT is a talkative guy, right? Like, and he tries to say, like, he tries to be a leader, talk like a leader, but you can't when you do things like that.
No. Other guys see that and it puts a bad taste in their mouth, and then they start doing that. You know what I mean? It's terrible.
Like, you see Petey will bust his ass on
every
the back
shift.
check.
Every shift. That 8 straight on to Petey's sweater.
And like, yeah, he still gets burned sometimes, but at least he's trying. At least you can show that clip to him and be like, hey, you got scored on, but this was the right thing you did here. And
funny how Miller starts trending in the right direction when they put him on Petey's line.
Yeah.
Petey can make anyone in the National Hockey League look good. So I don't even want to give Miller full credit yet. Let's see what he does this week.
Do need a lot more out of JT.
And I don't want to see him playing with Elias Pettersson. I don't think he deserves it. I don't think he should be playing on that line. I don't mind him at center sometimes, but put him third line center and let him grind it out down there for a bit.
It is a weird thing where Bruce kind of seems to think he's a legit number one center, where he's not, and he's proved it multiple times. He's not.
It doesn't make sense to me.
I prefer him on the wing, but I honestly, like, a third line center, I can see your point there. Like, don't give him the
hard matchups.
Give him the softballs, and JT Miller can probably dominate somebody there. But like, for me from now on, Elias Pettersson is the number one C. Bo Horvat's a great second option who seems like he can score at will now. But yeah, it's just again, another tough stretch from JT Miller, who's having a quietly good season, but because of the season he had last year, it doesn't seem that way. Yeah. Maybe not good overall, but good points wise. I believe he's still like a point per game average. But
yeah, it's just when you see all that other stuff that's going on, it disappoints you.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you hear about all the Travis Hamonic stuff, right? Like, good player, just play.
Yeah.
And there's too much
other noise.
Yeah, outside things going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's talk about the All-Star game again here. We got Petey, we got Bo. Do you think there's anybody else on this team that deserves to go?
That rhymed, for one. Honestly, I mean, Quinn Hughes.
Quinn, maybe. Like,
that's the only other guy.
Yeah. Like,
I don't see anybody else.
Cale Makar is, all like, again, having a good season, but not because of the year he had last year. It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
It's just, that's always a good option. And like, a lot of times too, it's a popularity thing, right? Like, you want your Ovies, your Crosbys to go because they're...
And if Jack's going to be there, it'd be kind of cool to see Quinn there. So, but I mean, that's not the only reason. Obviously, like Justin always likes to say, assists just dripped off of Quinn Hughes. And that's true. He sets up like probably 60% of our goals. He's an absolute beast.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to watch him play. And that goal against San Jose, like just that teaser, like I want to see that all the time.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah, I would. I want to see Quinn jump into the offensive play a little, even more than he is. Like skate up on a 2-on-1 or like 3-on-2, be the third man, and kind of get your shot on net. Because Quinn Hughes is not going to blast a puck by anybody,
and that's why it's nice when he can trickle into the zone and make a finesse play.
Exactly, yeah, and like he can do that. He's got the skill to do it. Yeah. So it's just something I want to see a little bit more. But he's still super young and his game's evolving.
And like he's playing with Bear now, who's a little bit more mobile. So if he does trickle into the zone and someone drops back for him, you can kind of count on those two to be back, like Bo and whoever jumps back with Bear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is nice that they've played Bear with him because Bear's mobile too. Yep. And they've looked good together.
Yep.
One thing outside of hockey that I just want to bring up, I don't remember the date this happened, but I'm sure everybody's seen it. Damar Hamlin from the Buffalo Bills.
Crazy.
Yeah, and just been a lot of positive news. He got transferred back to Buffalo today. He's talking. They've removed like the breathing tube from him, and like what a weird situation. Like I'm a big football guy. I didn't see this happen. I saw like the GIFs on Twitter, and it's just like I didn't know it was like a super serious like that. I didn't know what happened. I just saw him kind of faint. And then later looking up that night that he like everything that happened, it was just very crazy, very like shocking.
Yeah.
I'm a big Steelers guy, so I kind of relate this to the Ryan Shazier incident that ended his career, right? Where you see Shazier not be able to move his legs after he takes a hit, where it just makes you feel like sick.
Yeah.
I just want to say I think the NFL handled this right by just stopping the game, not making the players play. Everyone was clearly shook.
Yeah, everyone on the Bills was crying and stuff. Like, you can't return to play after that.
Yeah, so the NFL did the right thing there. We're very, very glad that Damar is doing a lot better and like he's back home now. Great to see. And yeah, we just wanted to bring that to light because it was a really serious moment in the world, not just sports, but like everything, like it was just, a crazy incident. So
at work, all they play is Sportsnet all day.
Yeah.
And that's all you've seen the whole past week. It's been just crazy.
Yeah. But since then, there's been nothing but good news. And so we hope he just continues to keep making an amazing recovery. So, okay, on to some score predictions, which, because we haven't done one of these in like 3 weeks, it just feels like forever.
Yeah.
Let's go over our schedule here. Tuesday, what is this? January 10th. We are in Pittsburgh. 6:00 puck drop. That's an interesting one because the Penguins aren't necessarily the Penguins we all think of, like the dominant Sidney Crosby era Penguins.
Yeah, no. And it's kind of funny too, like, we can't win at 9:00. Let's try some 6:00 games. I seen we have a couple Sixers in a row. I'm pumped about it. Let's try something different here. Dang. It's honestly, with letting 7 in the other night, I think both of our goalies are shattered mentally. I hope one of them comes to play, and I hope our D-core comes to play as well, and our forwards chip in as well. It's not just the D-core. The forwards need to chip in.
We need a good team effort.
We need to grind one out here. Let's not get too high scoring of a game. Let's just do a 2-1 win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Let's play solid defensively. Luke Shen, chirp JT Miller if you have to. Damn near scrap him out there to play defensively. And let's just grind a win.
I'm going to say 4-3 for the Canucks.
Right.
Then Thursday night, January 12th. It feels weird to say January for some reason.
Yeah.
In Tampa Bay. This is a tough one. Tampa Bay is still really good. I'm going to give this one 5-4 Lightning. I think this will be a high score game.
Yeah. There's going to be no off with your heads. There's going to be none of that type of stuff here. I have zero confidence when we're playing. And it's so funny. It seems like when we play a good team, we actually don't play too bad.
Yeah.
And then when we play teams that we're supposed to match up well against or else do very well against, we end up throwing the game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give us a loss here. I'm going to give us a 4-2 loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
All right. Then we are in Florida. January 14th. Florida also too, not the team they were last year.
No, not at all. Like,
having a tough go.
Look at where they are in the rankings. I was kind of shocked. Like, I didn't think not having Huberdeau was going to make, and Weegar.
Yeah, I thought they would be better.
Yeah, but no, not the case.
Yeah, Uyghur I knew would be a big hit because he was a very underrated defenseman. But
Yep.
you add Kachuk, that's a big add.
Yep.
Like I would, him and Huberdeau are kind of on the same level if like Kachuk is better even and younger. So.
But I would choose Huberdeau over Kachuk.
You think so?
If it was my team, that's who I'd be picking. You see this guy's passing ability?
That is true.
It is second to none. He might be the best passer in the league. And you always want a good setup, man. He's not selfish at all. Just more than willing to pass the puck to make a play. This is a tough prediction.
Yeah. One thing we should note, too, is that Thatcher Demko is making this trip, too. So
He won't play, but at least he's coming.
he could.
I hope he does.
He could.
We need Dem Show back, baby. Bad.
I am curious to see if he does get thrown in and how he looks.
Yeah.
And, hopefully he's good. Hopefully he feels good.
Yeah, I
He's
think
ready to roll.
Spencer Martin's starting to get to the stage that Demko was at the end of before he got injured
Yeah.
there, where it's like a negative spiral now. Now it's just not going good, and it's hard to get back on top of your game.
Yeah, and the team, like Boudreau has said it, they're just kind of fragile mentally. Like when it spirals, it goes down hard.
Yeah,
So,
but then we'll have a game where we're down 4 goals and we come back to win.
yeah.
How does that make sense?
This is like I don't think there's a team in the NHL that's as random as the Canucks ever.
No.
Ever.
No.
Like to me, like granted I watch them the most.
Yeah.
It's the craziest team in the league.
Yeah. It's
Season to season.
Wild card.
You have no idea what's going to happen. And like you got like Tyler Myers and OEL, and OEL's looked great the last couple of games, but the start of the year he was not good, and then Myers is just Myers.
Yeah.
He was decent last year, and then this year he's decided that he absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
It's just I'm gonna say 4-3 Canucks.
I like that prediction. Honestly, I'm going to go with 4-3 for the Canucks as well.
And this is the one Demko starts, and he gets the win.
I hope so. And honestly, just a bigger body in the net I'm excited for again.
Yeah.
Demko just closes off so much area when he's in that net. And right now, our other 2 goalies don't really have that build, that frame, that posture.
Yeah.
Like Martin and Delia, they kind of get low.
The 2 big things that I've noticed between Demko and the other 2, Demko, when he does go down on his knees, plays tall still.
Yeah. Like
Delia and
Go ahead.
Martin,
Yeah.
I forgot his name, play small when they're on their knees.
Yeah.
And Thatcher Demko has so much better control of his body when he's sliding post to post.
Yes.
We saw it last night. Colin Delia 360 out of his net.
And when Spencer slides one way, he'll slide way past the post.
Yes.
It's like, why are you getting that out of position? Like Demko, he's so sharp on his edges
It's
and just
post to post.
Yeah,
That's it.
it's
Yeah, the other
perfect.
2 guys are just 3/4 too much. So.
Yeah, Demko's a way sharper goaltender, just from a, what do they call that? I want to say analytics, but
Athletic?
No, structure,
I get what you mean.
Yeah, his structure is just so much better and so much sharper, and he's just a better goaltender, so I can't wait to see him back.
Yeah, I hope it was a good break. He's feeling good. He's not hurt at all, and ready to go. And the Canucks will go as far as Thatcher Demko takes him, right?
Yeah.
If Demko comes back and he's the Demko we've seen multiple times,
We can get above 500, baby.
We can maybe even squeeze into a playoff spot.
40 shots or 40 saves a night from Demko, and we can get there.
No problem.
Yeah.
But that'll kind of do it for this week's episode. Nice to be back in a familiar spot.
Yep.
I'm glad we kind of waited because that Christmas episode, it felt pretty rushed.
Yeah.
After we finished it, I was thinking back on it. I wasn't super proud of it. I'm kind of glad we can sandwich in this episode and make things work. But thanks for tuning in. I again hope everybody had a great Christmas and
back to more consistency.
Yeah, I hope you're all off to a good start to the new year.
Yep.
Better than Wes and I.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Teeth out, flooded apartments,
Jesus.
looking for places.
Yeah.
But thanks for tuning in. You can catch us on YouTube at the Canuckleheads podcast, on Spotify, anywhere there's podcasts. Wes?
Another one in the bag.